Hello, hello. Welcome to our Purpose Point. I want you to know today that it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. Come on. Some of you have been counted out. They thought you would never make it. They told you you would be nothing. But the God inside of you decided to keep fighting. And I want to speak to that warrior today. I want you to not be weary in well-doing, because in due season, God said you shall reap if you faint not. I think about our brother Joshua in the Bible. You turn in your Bible to Joshua chapter, let's go to chapter 6. And actually, I'm going to go chapter 5. Joshua was going in to Jericho. Do y'all remember the story? And before he ever stepped foot in the land to do what God told him to do, which was what? To walk around with the children of Israel 7 times, right? And then on the 7th, in different days. And then on the 7th day, they'd walk around, they would all let out a shout. But before they ever did that, God was fighting for Joshua and the children of Israel. And I want you to know that you may feel like you're fighting alone, but God is already fighting for you, and he's already fighting with you. And sometimes he's only asking you to show up so that his presence can be in the place where you are. Because everywhere you go, his presence goes with you. The book of Joshua in chapter 5 and verse 13. And it says, "And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked. And behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, Art thou for us or for our adversaries?" So here you have a man with a sword, and Joshua is always ready to fight, right? He's like, let me go check this dude out. If I got to handle him, I'll handle him. When he gets close to the man is already ready to fight. His sword is already drawn and ready for action. So Joshua was ready too. Joshua was like, hey, I'm about it. That's how some of you are. Y'all are always on alert. And Joshua was ready. And then it says, verse 14, and the man said, Nay, but as a captain of the host of the Lord am I now come. This man was an angel sent from the Lord. And God did not send the lower angel. He didn't send the little minion. You know the movie. God sent the captain to rescue Joshua, to fight for Joshua and for Israel. God is not just sending anybody to help you. He's sending his angels, his ministering spirits to fight for you. And it's already taken care of, baby. The battle is the Lord's, but the victory is yours. And here's what Joshua had to do. It says, and Joshua fell on his face to the earth, and he did worship. Joshua had to worship. And that's what God is asking you to do. Show up, but still worship me. I know there's a fighter on the inside of you, God is saying, but you still got to worship me. I know you stay ready, but you still got to lift your hands and surrender to me, God is saying. I know you're ready to knock somebody out at the drop of a dime, but baby, your heart has to stay submitted and humbled to God in this season. Joshua was always ready to fight, but his heart was always ready to hear from God. And it's in those moments when you're in worship, it's in those moments when you're submitted to God that he prepares you for your next, that he gives you your next directions. But if you're always ready to fight and you never hear God's direction, you'll make the wrong move. So I submit to you today, my fighter, my warrior princess, my king warrior. Always go to hear God's voice about what your next is, because your angels are always going to fight for you. But you have to stay ready. I'm going to read the rest of it for you, and then we're done. He says, and he fell to his face, and he worshiped, and said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant? And the captain of the Lord of hosts said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe from off thy foot, For the place whereon thou standest is holy. And Joshua did so. And in the next chapter, you find then he goes to battle. Then they go to do what God instructed them to do. And what happens? The walls of Jericho come tumbling down and they take over the city. God has given you that next place. God has given you that promotion. God has given you the victory. But baby, stay in his face. He said he would never leave you nor forsake you. And he's fighting for you. But you stay encouraged. Stay in his face. Stay in his presence. Because the battle is the Lord's, but the victory is yours. I love you. I'm praying for you. You already know. And I want you to have a great day on purpose.